Bonsoir, bonsoir, chers amis. C'est Deaso et on se retrouve aujourd'hui pour ce 600e épisode sur Genshin Impact. J'espère que vous vous portez bien pendant que le soleil se lève derrière nous. Donc aujourd'hui, on se retrouve pour un moment spécial. Donc aujourd'hui, nous allons faire l'intermède acte 3, tombée de rideau et d'oiseaux de nuit. C'est certainement une grosse quête, digne de cet épisode. Étape, voilà. On va dire ça. Donc on va se rendre au sanctuaire de Surastana. Si je me souviens bien, la voyageuse s'interrogeait sur poser certaines questions et pensait que peut-être Nahida pourrait donner plus d'explications que ce qu'on avait eu la dernière fois lors de la fin de l'acte 5. Allons voir. Allons donc voir, ça fait 3 semaines déjà qu'on attend de faire cette quête. On arrive. On est au jardin de Razan. En tout cas, au moment où je commence à enregistrer ce début, nous sommes le 29 à 19h30. Morgana, chercheur. Ok, donc on ne doit pas se rendre directement au sanctuaire de Surastana, mais sur la route. Voyons voir.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay! That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me. So all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatara Suna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Rapprochons-nous et écoutons.
Great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about.
Je l'aide, c'est acte 3. Très bien.
But what if Tavada's round?
All right, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabukimono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
C'est moi que vous cherchez?
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
Je m'en vais si vous ne me croyez pas. Hein.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
I see.
Ah, désolé, je ne peux pas vous aider.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabukimono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabukimono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Serait-ce?
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in the story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Il y a encore plus important.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
La marionnette de la Shogun fabriquée par la compagnie Electro devrait être en train de régner sur Inazuma avec elle en ce moment. Ça ne doit pas être elle. Pas aucun doute que c'est Kabukimono était SCARAMUCCIA. Seulement, il est vraiment allé à Tatarasuna il y a 400 ans? Pourquoi?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Lancez un regard, Paimon.
No! Paimon just meant... described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Il y a eu le nuage sombre. Auteur Sawada, évidemment, extrait 1. Après certains récits, un homme arrive à Tatarasuna à 15 heures. Il y a au loin des ouvriers sur les routes montagneuses qui marchaient en direction des usines. Les semelles de leurs chaussures se frottaient au sol rugueux, comme s'ils étaient certains de repartir avec des joyaux d'une valeur inestimable, enfin qu'ils auraient bravé les flammes du fourneau au cœur de la montagne. Les mots marquaient pour décrire l'atmosphère du lieu, et il fallait être là pour la ressentir. L'homme les salua de vive voix et s'empressa de rejoindre le groupe. On a vu lui, il était passé d'une tête, lui donna plusieurs tapes sur le dos. Lui dit d'un ton respectueux. Mes yeux me jouent des tours. C'est vous, Seigneur Miyazaki. Le voyage depuis Inazuma n'a pas dû être de tout repos. Miyazaki a un sourire semblable à celui d'un jeune homme qui venait de se lancer dans une aventure l'air détendu. Pourquoi cela, Katsuragi? La cité d'Inazuma est sous l'autorité de la Shogun toute-puissante. Pour revenir ici, j'empruntais la route maritime la plus rapide. C'est le meilleur navire qui soit. Qu'aurais-je eu à craindre? Votre arrivée est-elle synonyme de bonne nouvelle? Évidemment. Les deux compères éclatèrent de rire et donnèrent des tapes aux autres ouvriers le long du chemin en signe de camaraderie. Un jeune homme habillé d'une tunique en lin et dont la tête était enroulée dans un foulard avait les yeux rivés sur les flammes dansantes du fourneau. Feu intense permettait d'obtenir une meilleure intégrité du métal et une lame d'une qualité irréprochable. Le trempage de l'acier ne faisait pas exception à cette règle. L'homme qui surveillait les flammes était un individu quelque peu particulier. Du visage souriant, il y avait un lézard accroché à ses doigts. Le feu était immense et le fourneau s'enfonçait profondément dans la montagne. En théorie, les survivants du feu auraient dû être entourés par de nombreux collègues, mais il était seul. Il retourna seulement lorsque Katsuragi et Miyazaki entrèrent dans la pièce. Cet homme était Niwa, l'officier de l'armurerie et l'administrateur de Tatarasuna. Né au sein du clan Niwa, qui fut l'un des 3 clans fondateurs de la Reishin, ne s'était jamais retrouvé dans des luttes de pouvoir avec sa fratrie, était devenu le chef de clan par son mérite. Pour preuve, les nobles et dignitaires le tenaient en haute estime. Miyazaki remit un document enveloppé dans du brocart dans les mains de Niwa et dit en toute honnêteté « Monsieur Katsuragi l'avait prédit. Votre famille désapprouve notre plan. Cependant, le plan d'Akame vaudrait la peine d'être tenté. J'ai donc trouvé des fournisseurs à acheter tous les objets de cette liste et que j'ai pu. » Niwa regardait les documents et acquiesça. Nous devrions essayer de nouvelles techniques de forge, indépendamment de l'approbation du clan Kaedehara. Katsuragi fronça les sourcils et s'écria. Le forge d'armes est un art qui requiert de la méticulosité et votre expertise n'est plus approuvée. Mais vous souhaitez vous perfectionner davantage? Vous me terrifiez, monsieur Nagamasa serait embarrassé. Niwa sourit et demanda Katsuragi, dans quel état est l'épée de monsieur Nagamasa? Katsuragi ne souhaitait pas faire perdre la face à son chef de clan, ni mentir à ses amis. Les beaux réfléchirent, mais ils ne trouvaient pas les bons mots et rétorqua. Monsieur Niwa, votre humour est aussi raffiné que votre travail. Le nôtre est certainement grossier à vos oreilles. Miyazaki se mit la main devant la bouche pour dissimuler son sourire. Niwa plaça son lézard dans la paume de Katsuragi et s'apprêta à lui parler. Les bruits de pas résonnèrent, vraisemblablement à son pseudo d'un jeune homme. Le crâne était rond et brillant dans la lumière du feu, comme une pâle lustrée. Le jeune homme laissa son repas de côté et acquiesça. Il était sur le point de partir lorsque Katsuragi lui demanda « Tu vas pas manger ton plat ?» Le jeune homme se montra perplexe à ces questions. Dans ce coup-là, avant sa réponse. « Je peux au moins y goûter. » Niwa dit « Mangeons la même chose après tout, ni besoin de formalité. » Le jeune homme acquiesça et se alignera l'air pensif. Le Kabukimono se tenait sur la côte. Le crépuscule avait laissé place à l'obscurité. Les rayons de soleil remplacés par des nuages orageux qui annonçaient des pluies torrentielles. L'obscurité recouvrait la mer et les nuages semblaient s'agenouiller sur la terre, tout comme le Kabukimono, dont le visage faisait face à l'eau. L'endroit était désert et personne ne savait ce qui l'attendait. Le temps passa jusqu'à ce que des nuages noirs se détachent du ciel pour tourner autour du Kabukimono, le tourmentant tel un cauchemar. Il n'en avait pas conscience, mais son regard aiguisé par l'expérience lui fit comprendre. Les nuages le poursuivaient depuis le début. Un chalutier s'approcha. L'homme de la proue vacillait avec le vent et la pluie. La brume était répandue dans la zone. Le pêcheur à la barre aurait du mal à voir dans quelle direction il se dirigeait. Ce dernier s'écria « Pourquoi je ne vois plus rien ?» C'est encore le crépuscule pourtant. Quelqu'un peut m'aider à naviguer? Les nuages noirs se regroupèrent sur la coque du navire, dévièrent à sa direction et le firent s'échouer sur le rivage d'une force monstrueuse. Le Kabukimono se trouvait à quelques pas de là, debout la tête penchée, et contemplait l'épave du navire brisé. De celui qui appela à l'aide, il ne restait qu'une moitié de bras qui tomba à ses pieds. Il comprit pour étudier l'objet avec l'envie de mordre dedans. Il ne le fit pas, car les nuages noirs avaient déjà englouti les vestiges du bateau. Le Kabukimono observa la scène pendant longtemps, le regard vide, avant de finalement revenir à lui. Les nuages se dispersèrent sans laisser de traces. Quant au navire, la foudre s'était-elle abattue sur lui? Qui savait? Le Kabukimono n'en avait pas la certitude. Katsuragi se précipita à la porte et exclama « Monsieur, quelque chose cloche avec le fourneau. Je recherchais Monsieur Niwa partout, mais impossible de le retrouver. Monsieur Miyazaki est allé demander de l'aide extérieure. Je n'ai pas encore eu de nouvelles de sa part, vous. » Mikoshi Nagamasa se retourna lentement, à boire un air grave, digne notamment prononça la phrase suivante. À moins que ce soit autrement, Katsuragi. Monsieur Miyazaki ne reviendra pas. Le regard de Katsuragi se posa sur l'épaule large et raide de Nagamasa qui regardait par la fenêtre. Le nuage sombre s'était accumulé au-dessus de la mer qui revêtit une obscurité terrifiante, comme s'ils allaient se transformer en monstres pour engloutir intégralement Tatarazuna. Une dizaine de personnes avaient déjà péri. Ainsi, Katsuragi recula comme s'il avait été frappé par quelque chose. Il se souvient de la raison pour laquelle ils étaient allés chercher du secours à l'extérieur. Miyazaki était le premier à larguer les voiles. Après son départ, les nuages commencèrent à se former. Le trajet de Tatarazuna à la cité d'Inazuma était tranquille, pourtant aucun signe de lui. Un deuxième, un troisième, un quatrième bateau quittèrent Tatarazuna. Et enfin va le tour du Kabukimono. Celui-ci dut affronter une mer houleuse, avec peu de probabilité d'en ressortir indemne. Katsuragi l'avait accueilli comme son propre fils, et cela lui faisait de la peine de le voir partir. Cependant, il valait la peine d'obtenir de l'aide de la cité d'Inazuma en raison de la situation mouvementée de Tatarazuna, peu importe le prix. Niwa s'était volatilisé. Nagamasa avait cherché dans les montagnes à proximité du fourneau avec ses hommes sans réussir à le trouver. Les gens se demandaient si Niwa avait eu un malencontreux accident, mais l'inquiétude qu'ils éprouvaient à son égard se mua progressivement en méfiance. S'était-il enfui pour ne pas être tenu responsable des étranges événements? Les soupçons de tous se réveillaient et Nagamasa avait lui-même du mal à contenir sa colère et son mécontentement. Sa mine paraissait plus sombre que les nuages. D'un coup, M. passa devant l'inspecteur. Nagamasa dégaina son épée et fendit le masque de soie que l'intrus portait. Dernier chance-là, il se déplaça derrière Nagamasa en un instant, tel un pantin qu'on manipulait. On a lâché un rire sardonique. Je recherchais quelqu'un? Niwa peut-être? Furieux, Nagamasa s'exclama. Comment oses-tu l'appeler de manière aussi familière? Il a disparu dans la brume avant que son épée ne tombe, pour réapparaître plus loin, sous la forme d'un fantôme monstrueux. C'est toi qui as massacré les gens d'ici? Vain de rage, Nagamasa s'élança vers l'individu pour le frapper de toutes ses forces. Puis retenu par Katsuragi, il se rendit compte qu'il était à deux doigts de tomber dans le fourneau. L'œuvre est inachevé. Cependant, il s'agit sans doute d'un texte fictif. Un passage d'un roman fantastique peut-être.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
Plus de lecture! Bon, ça a l'air de plus court. Brève analyse des possibles événements d'importance historique de la région inazumienne de Tatarazuna. Remarque. Ce texte fait partie d'une série de travaux réalisés dans le cadre du projet à travers le voile du Vahumana. Il n'a pas encore été numéroté. Auteur Akaba. Abstraction. La région de Tatarazuna a toujours été considérée comme un des lieux clés de l'industrie de la fonte et la forge à Inazuma. Deux incidents se sont produits à cet endroit dont le premier est assez mal documenté. Nous estimons qu'un facteur historique peu connu serait à l'origine de celui-ci. Thèse propose une analyse de cet incident avec tous les éléments connus à ce jour. Mots-clés, Tatarazuna, le Raiden Gokaden, Mikoshi Nagamasa, Kabukimono. Thèse écrit sur le prolongement d'un rapport de recherche écrit rédigé par mon mentor, Monsieur Rumi, intitulé Les contes vraisemblablement cachés de Tatarazuna, pour objectif d'étayer les éléments présentés dans celui-ci. Les ressources suggèrent que les techniques de forge étaient transmises par l'Archon Electro, la Shogun Raiden, à des artisans qui les ont perpétuées dans l'industrie concernée. Cependant, à Tatarazuna, le cœur de la forge, courait une rumeur étrange en contraste avec le récit héroïque que renvoyait l'industrie. Fleur Mikoshi et Niwa ainsi qu'une marionnette mystérieuse sont au point de départ pour découvrir la vérité cachée des événements de Tatarazuna. Scène de notes retrouvée à Tatarazuna. Peut-être que j'outrepasse, mais je pense que M. Nagamasa est le meilleur humain lorsqu'il forge des lames. Cette obsession à vouloir nettoyer le nom de Mikoshi est épuisante pour l'âme. De plus, M. Katsuragi a découvert un excentrique sans nom en patrouillant autour de la plage de Nazuchi. L'inspecteur a acheté un certain nombre de lingots de Tamahagane. M. Katsuragi a discuté de forgeage jusque tard dans la nuit avec le vice-officier de l'armurerie. Nous avons finalement fabriqué un seul Nagamaki. Nous l'appellerons le Daitatara de Nagamasa. L'inspecteur a été de bonne humeur, et le vice-officier de l'armurerie et lui, Nozomu a été tellement impressionné par la beauté du Daitatara de Nagamasa qu'il en a fait un croquis. Et il a fait une danse de l'épée avec cet excentrique errant. Et nous n'avons pas pu retrouver cet excentrique. L'inspecteur s'est mis en colère et a tailladé Katsuragi. La grande lame s'est profondément enfoncée dans sa chair et a jeté son propre Nagakami dans les flammes de la fournaise. Nozomu n'a pas pu se plié à cet ordre, et il a sorti l'arme complètement fondue du fourneau. Il a été horriblement brûlé. Nozomu est mort cette nuit-là. J'ose dire que, bien que M. Katsuragi ait commis une faute, c'était pas bonté d'âme. Kinjiro a caché le Nagamaki et le croquis de Nozomu dans l'arsenal. Nagamasa est dur, mais il sait distinguer le bien du mal, mais même ainsi il ne se laisse pas raisonner. Ce nom indique un être obsédé par la pureté. Pourtant, certains foyers de Tatarazuna et moi-même n'avons pas été aveuglés par l'affaire de Chiyo, la mère de Nagamasa, et nous lui faisons confiance. Je ne suis pas non plus prêt à oublier la joie d'avoir créé avec lui le Daitatara de Nagamasa, et d'avoir vu cet excentrique sans nom exécuter cette danse de l'épée avec Katsuragi. 7. Avant de nous retirer, nous aurions dû diviser la clé de l'arsenal en 3 parties. Une pour l'inspecteur, une pour l'officier de l'armurerie et une à laisser à Tatarazuna pour éviter les vols. Nous étions trop pressés, ni l'inspecteur ni l'officier de l'armurerie ne pouvaient être trouvés. Là, j'ai eu l'audace de cacher les 3 pièces dans les coffres à Tatarazuna. Ce passage présenté ci-dessous ont été dispersés dans tout Tatarazuna. Les 6 premiers ont été écrits sur des papiers qui assurent endurer l'épreuve du temps malgré son ancienneté. Cependant, celui sur lequel cette terme a été semble plus récent. Disons qu'il est postérieur aux autres, mais de combien d'années? Cela reste à voir. De plus, les 6 premiers passages ont un rapport entre eux. Ils se réfèrent tous au même incident. Dans les contes vraisemblablement cachés de Tatarazuna, c'est après abrégé en contes cachés, Oromi mentionne que les chercheurs sumériens s'étaient rendus à Inazuma pour enquêter sur l'histoire de l'humanité à Tatarazuna autrefois. À l'époque où Conte caché a été rédigé, la zone concernée était en déclin après une série d'incidents. Son état était bien meilleur par rapport à maintenant. Personne n'est vit au cœur de la zone, ce qui reste aussi vrai de nos jours. Les personnes ont préféré s'installer au bord du littoral. Les habitants qui y résidaient ont affirmé aux chercheurs que Tatarazuna était autrefois très prospère. Il y a plusieurs siècles, la zone était administrée par l'officier de l'armurerie Niwa et son vice-officier Miyazaki ainsi que l'inspecteur Mikoshi Nagamasa. De ce qui est considéré comme un âge d'or. De plus, les membres des clans les plus anciens avaient insisté maintes fois qu'une rumeur étrange circulait sur Tatarazuna. Cette rumeur parlait d'un démon aux caractéristiques inazubiennes. Certaines personnes ont évoqué une marionnette. Il est également bon de remarquer que les marionnettes ne font pas partie des démons traditionnels d'Inazuma. Cet élément a intrigué les chercheurs qui ont creusé dans cette direction et ceux-ci ont obtenu les informations suivantes après s'être renseignés. Une marionnette existait autrefois à Tatarazuna. Il était vêtu de manière élégante et savait très bien comment cacher ses articulations. Personne ne se doutait de sa nature, à moins que quelqu'un en fasse mention de temps en temps. Plus, les marques de ses articulations étaient apparemment vouées à s'estomper avec le temps, pour disparaître pour de bon et en faire un humain à part entière. Personne ne connaissait le nom de cette marionnette, mais elle semble n'être apparue que dans la zone de Tatarazuna. Certains affirment l'avoir vue au cœur de la zone, d'autres sur la plage. Il dit que cette marionnette se tenait au bord de mer, les yeux rivés en direction de la cité d'Inazuma, mais il ne savait ce qui attirait son regard là-bas. Le récit contenu dans les 6 notes précédentes fait mention d'un excentrique sans nom, aussi appelé Kabukimono. Le terme de Kabukimono désigne un individu à la tenue vestimentaire et au comportement original. De ce fait, il faut en déduire que ce personnage a bel et bien marqué l'esprit des gens. Par exemple, les marionnettes n'avaient rien de choquant pour les humains d'Inazuma qui habitaient historiquement avec les démons. Il est très probable que celles-ci étaient intégrées dans la société de Tatarazuna à part entière. En ce qui concerne le Kabukimono, dont l'existence a laissé peu de traces dans l'histoire, il pourrait agir d'un nom sur lequel la marionnette était connue. En raison de sa tenue particulière, la créature aurait pu passer inaperçue aux yeux de tous. L'hypothèse reste encore à prouver, mais elle n'en est pas moins plausible. Voici une liste des personnes liées à Tatarazona dressées après des consultations des diverses archives historiques inazumiennes, en commençant par les administrateurs. Niwa, officier de l'armurerie, donc appelé Niwa Izaide, était l'héritier du clan Niwa qui perpétua l'Arishin et qui faisait partie des Ishin Sansaku, avec le clan Akame et le clan Kaedehara. Selon les archives, Niwa était un homme humble et intelligent qui administra la zone d'une manière exceptionnelle. Cependant, nous ignorons ce qu'il est devenu après l'incident. Peut-être a-t-il quitté Tatarazona avec sa famille. Miyazaki, le vice-officier de l'armurerie, donc appelé Miyazaki Kaneo, assistant de Niwa dont les origines sont incertaines. Il était principalement chargé d'épauler Niwa sur certaines tâches de forge et de gestion du personnel. Sympathique et affable, il avait de nombreux amis et entretenait également une relation amicale avec Mikoshi Nagamasa. Mikoshi Nagamasa, il était l'héritier du clan Mikoshi, le fils adoptif du samouraï Oni, Mikoshi Shio, et le frère adoptif de Mikoshi Michihiro, connu sous le nom d'Iwakura le successeur. Ce dernier l'abandonna après la disparition de Shio. Nagamasa dirigea alors son clan seul et travailla d'arrache-pied pour en redorer le blason. Il avait la réputation d'une personne assez têtue et franche au caractère droit. D'après les notes de papier, nous pouvons déduire qu'il a étudié la forge d'armes pour la culture de son esprit. Il a demandé à Miyazaki de lui enseigner cet art. Une fois le Daitatara de Nagamasa forgé, il s'en servit pour assassiner Katsuragi, son subordonné pour une certaine raison. Son complet et ses origines tous sont inconnus. Malgré de nombreuses recherches, nous n'avons pas pu trouver d'autres informations sur lui. Il était un subordonné des Mikoshi Nagamasa, ainsi qu'un guerrier loyal et dévoué qu'un jeune Nagamasa avait sauvé autrefois. Je jurai fidélité pour cette raison et était prêt à se sacrifier pour lui si nécessaire ou à se plier à n'importe laquelle de ses volontés. Le Kabukimono. Son nom complet et ses origines nous sont inconnus. Après avoir consulté de nombreuses archives et les études de Rumi sur le sujet, nous avons déduit que ce personnage est l'étrange marionnette dont parlent les rumeurs. Il était gentil et d'une apparence très élégante. Selon conte caché, ce serait Katsuragi qui l'aurait amené à Tatarazona et y vécu. En arrivant à le Kabukimono ne savait pas comment laver son linge, cuisiner et d'effectuer n'importe quelle tâche qui demandait de la méticulosité. Les résidents locaux lui enseignèrent progressivement à faire les tâches ménagères, à danser, à forger de petits objets, etc. D'après les notes, le Kabukimono était également présent lors de la forge du Daitatara de Nagamasa, mais il disparut avant que Mikoshi Nagamasa ne décapite Katsuragi. Considérons que le Kabukimono a probablement joué un rôle dans la mort de ce dernier. L'œuvre est inachevée, son auteur a l'air de s'être beaucoup renseigné pour l'écrire.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
C'est vrai que ça ressemble un peu trop à un roman.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
Bon, alors on ne vous dérange pas plus.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Oui.
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
Oui, c'est bien lui qui se promène.
The balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Ah. Il se passe des choses. Ah.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
SCARAMUCCIA a donc été abandonné.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Vraiment, quel dommage.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes.
Bien sûr.
I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
Moi?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Et s'il se joue de nous?
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Merci, Nahida.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Compris.
Great, thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Ok. D'une certaine façon, je me douterais que ça se passerait un peu comme ça.
Different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Mais non, Paimon, c'est parce qu'on a retiré définitivement la corruption de la connaissance interdite. Bon, en tout cas, je me doutais que si jamais il y avait l'histoire avec le vagabond, avec SCARAMUCCIA, c'est certainement parce que Nahida veut lui faire quelque chose. Qu'elle le demande de garder un œil sur lui.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Nahida m'envoie vous superviser.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
J'ai compris.
Fine, let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
Peut-être-vous de remplir votre part du marché.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Et il est parti!
Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul.
C'est pas tout à fait ce à quoi je m'attendais.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Ah voilà, j'ai mis...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Ah oui. C'est le centre de l'Irminsul. À l'intérieur circulent toutes les informations de ce monde.
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
Il n'a pas l'air de s'être opposé à quoi que ce soit. Il semble être doué pour travailler en première ligne. Est-ce que c'était son rôle quand il était chez les Fatui? Ça me fait repenser aux histoires racontées par Akaba et Sawada plus tôt. Quel étrange
The rest is
personnage.
up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida. C'est une conversation entre consciences.
Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
Je suppose que vous ne voulez pas qu'on dérange SCARAMUCCIA.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Mais il a l'air très doué pour mener à bien ce genre de mission.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Ça a quelque chose à voir avec son passé. On parle de ses trahisons et des événements qui se sont produits à Inazuma.
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Il faut que je vous dise, j'ai eu des courtes visions quand j'ai touché à Hypatia au paradis d'Iai. Là, j'ai avec Nahida pas les informations que vous avez vues de la conscience.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabukimono and so on, yes. I know a...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Pas la Nahida d'histoire racontée dans l'article de Sawada et
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
On n'a pas l'obligation de vous le dire.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Ces conversations sont toujours désagréables, mais votre attitude est quand même meilleure que ce à quoi je m'attendais.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Ce nom, Niwa, ce serait pas le responsable de Tatarazuna? C'est le cas, c'est un parent du clan à l'origine de l'Arishine.
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose, they are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Un fontaine noire.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, You remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate, and I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabukimono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
Oh.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Ah. Cette voix, je pense la reconnaître.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was.
Hiro, c'est l'exécuteur numéro 1.
I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
Il semblerait que ce soit malheureusement le cas. C'est lui qui était derrière l'incident de Tatarazuna.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Donc cette histoire de trahison était un mensonge auquel il a cru pendant plusieurs siècles. Ça faisait partie de l'expérience de Dottore. Cette trahison n'a jamais existé, ce mal était une illusion. Mais en définitive, qu'a-t-il obtenu?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Ok, allons là-bas.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
On a été trahi, abandonné par un ami important, a assurément nourri une haine profonde au fond de lui. Avec le recul, sa décision de se venger du Raiden Gokaden il y a des centaines d'années semble également avoir été motivée par cela. Ça ne justifie pas cet acte de vengeance.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Totoro, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Mince, non. Non, 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 non. Un moment plus tard. Ok, fallait juste attendre.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
Je veux juste éviter quoi que ce soit d'imprévu.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Je m'y attendais. Quoi qu'il en soit, merci.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time.
Pierrot, un exécuteur a défait lui.
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez me demander?
Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Vous voulez envoyer ma conscience?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Attendez, pourquoi posez-vous cette question?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me.
Cette expression. Il a perçu mon hésitation. C'est parce que je sais ce qui s'est passé avec la Bolrani ou Kodabata. Mince, j'ai donné la réponse
So
en disant.
long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Arrêtez-vous, Scaramuccia.
Fast reaction time. but I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
C'est embêtant.
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
Je vais raconter à Nahida ce qui vient de se passer.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
Est-ce qu'on peut faire... Je peux faire quelque chose?
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon ne se souvient plus de la Mulrani Rukadavata. La question posée par SCARAMUCCIA était un peu spéciale. C'est trop compliqué de l'expliquer maintenant et entendre cette histoire à la mettre essence dessus-dessous. Je vais passer la partie sur la Mulrani Rukadavata et parler uniquement de SCARAMUCCIA. Ce qu'il a peut-être prévu de faire.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible.
Ce n'est assurément pas si facile que ça.
Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Oui, tout à fait.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon's so confused.
Je pense qu'il a peut-être l'intention d'effacer son existence de l'histoire. Paimon, ça va?
Sorry. Paimon accidentally It's the Balladier's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
Ah. C'est qu'une supposition de ma part. Pas forcément, c'est juste une possibilité.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
En effet, si Scaramuccia a réussi à s'effacer de l'Irminsul, ça affectera de nombreuses choses à Inazuma et beaucoup de gens seront concernés. J'imagine même pas l'emploi de la situation. Dans le pire des scénarios, toutes les personnes associées au Gaiden Gulkaden, comme Kazuha, Ayaka, encore Ayato, seront affectées. Pourrait-il disparaître?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next?
Ou le Shogun Raiden risque d'être affecté.
Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight.
Moi non plus.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, that doesn't work. Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake. And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and...
Je pense que Paimon a réussi à s'endormir. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, Paimon?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
Ah merde. Je crois que c'est la merde, chers amis. Oui, elle était angoissée à propos de Scaramuccia, mais je crois que Scaramuccia vient d'être effectivement effacé, non? Tu étais angoissé par rapport à Scaramuccia.
The Balladeer?
Ouais, voilà.
Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name though.
Ah. Et bim. Paimon ne se souvient plus de Scaramuccia, cette sensation. Est-ce qu'il a vraiment réussi? Mais quand même, est-ce qu'il en est vraiment capable? Il y a quelque chose qui ne va pas.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
Non, rien.
So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
Ok, là qu'on va expliquer. C'est vraiment ce qui s'est passé, je dois absolument confirmer quelque chose d'important. Paimon, accompagne-moi.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
J'aimerais retourner à Inazuma.
Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
On en reparlera quand on sera là-bas. Une danse de destruction. Ouh. Aïe, 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 aïe. Ouh, ça se passe mal.
It's been a while.
Bonjour, je voudrais vous poser quelques questions.
Of course. Go ahead.
C'est à propos du Raiden Gokaden, vous pourriez m'en reparler?
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokaden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokaden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokaden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
Quelle était la raison de leur déclin?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokaden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokaden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokaden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Les gens du Raiken Kokaden n'est plus la même. Le massacre des forgerons de l'époque aurait été perpétré par quelqu'un d'autre. Scaramuccia a de toute évidence effectué une manipulation dans l'Irmen Soul, mais même après ça, Niwa n'a pas échappé à cette fin tragique.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Avez-vous Kazuha ces jours-ci?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He's...
Ouf, Kazuha existe toujours, et rien de mal ne lui est arrivé. C'est déjà mieux que ce que j'imaginais. Je n'ai pas d'autres questions, merci.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
Rendez-vous à la commission culturelle. Honnêtement, cette quête me stresse un petit peu. Il y a un truc vraiment horrible qui va... J'ai l'impression qu'il y a un truc plus horrible qui va arriver, mais... Peut-être que je me trompe, et ce serait plutôt cool.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler! It's been a while.
Bonjour.
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Merci, nous allons accepter votre offre. On peut se promener un peu dans la cour?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Pour une fois qu'on parle avec lui d'ailleurs en cinématique. Enquête.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
Madame, est-ce que je peux vous poser quelques questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know?
Comment se porte le commissaire et Mademoiselle Kamisato?
Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Ato est toujours le commissaire culturel. Aka est toujours la maîtresse de la maison de la commission culturelle. Rien n'a changé. Semble idiotique à la commission culturelle. Mais attendez, mais c'est quand même un grand soulagement de savoir que les Kamisato sont sains ici.
Well, got any more questions?
Surtout pour le moment, merci.
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
Vous me flattez.
I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home, but given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company.
Merci. Les gens du clan Kamisato sont des amis très chers pour moi.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
Tatarazuna.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Très joyeuse, cette vieille dame.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Tatarazuna. Quelques 2 heures d'épisode. Je sais, on a beaucoup lu au début, mais... Qu'est-ce qui va enchaîner? Hein? Xavier? Eh oui, c'est le grand inventeur. On n'a pas eu le temps de récupérer la menthe.
Here we are. But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Tu connais bien Tatarazuna?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
En tout cas, je dois dire que la voyageuse s'en sort très très bien. Pour l'instant, elle a réussi à éviter de poser des questions qui paraissent bizarres aux gens. C'est très important. Tu connais bien l'histoire de cet endroit?
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Tu pourrais m'en dire plus?
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
On parle d'Otore. La destruction du Fauno et les troubles qu'il a causés n'ont pas été modifiés non plus.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Ce que je suis en train de faire.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
C'est ça. D'ailleurs, j'ai encore une question.
Sure, go ahead.
As-tu entendu parler du Kabukimono de Tatarasuna?
A Kabukimono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a Kabukimono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
Plus le Kabukimono. Est-ce que SCARAMUCCIA a réussi à manipuler les Windsoul pour effacer les informations le concernant? C'est le cas? Pourquoi n'aurait-il pas plutôt changé le monde et fait revenir les événements à leur point de départ? Quand jusqu'à présent, il semble que toutes les choses qui ont été affectées ne concernent que lui-même. Donc en fait, il a réussi à s'effacer, mais il n'a pas réussi à atteindre son but. Vu que tout s'est passé quand même. Quoi? Ils sont bien morts et il s'est passé des conneries. Merci Xavier.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Au revoir. Au revoir, grand
All
fou.
the information you're looking for.
Retournons voir la reine Nikozanai.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
Je sais, merci Paimon.
Come on, you gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? You can't go facing life's challenges on an empty stomach.
Comment les défis temporels?
Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Bon. Écho du passé. Enquêter, voilà, on récupère ça. On récupère ça. Comme dit, pour la réputation au niveau 10 à Sumeru, qu'on a atteint, on attend... Ah, l'acte final du Kabukimono. Le sanctuaire de Surastana. Pour ça, ce qu'on va faire, chers amis, pour le truc, on va récupérer ça lundi. Je vais aller récupérer les récompenses. Et en même temps, on récupérera le succès. Hop, Jadan Razan.
Hey, it's them.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Vous êtes encore en train de parler de votre thèse?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Font des recherches de Tatarasuna. Écoutons ce qu'ils ont à dire.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
Votre article de la dernière fois a été exceptionnel. Puis-je le lire à nouveau?
Huh? Oh, of course.
Ok, il va y avoir. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres des trucs qui ont été modifiés? Cette rumeur parlait d'un démon. Caractéristique inazumienne, cette personne en évoquait un étranger. C'est tellement bon de remarquer la faible probabilité qu'un individu réel apparaisse au sein d'une légende. L'élément a indiqué les chercheurs ont couru dans cette direction et ceux-ci ont obtenu des informations sur le monde après s'être renseignés. Le mécanicien étranger a été de passage à Tatarasuna. Il est venu pour échanger des connaissances et créer des liens avec les habitants. Cependant, son comportement était suspect. Il voulait souvent se promener près des zones sensibles ou interdites. Lorsque quelqu'un lui disait de s'éloigner, il m'amenait toujours des paroles incompréhensibles. Le mécanicien regardait souvent les fourneaux et probablement pour vérifier son état. Il aurait été également observé les gens du coin d'une manière qui les mettait mal à l'aise. L'échange de connaissances techniques était courant dans les lieux comme Tatarasuna à cette époque. Après avoir traversé la mer, les experts étrangers étaient vraisemblablement bien accueillis dans la région. Cependant, cette dernière commença à être sur le déclin après cet échange particulier. Il est probable que les deux événements soient liés. Toutefois, certains habitants d'aujourd'hui pensent qu'il s'agit simplement d'une théorie sortie d'imagination de leurs prédécesseurs. Après avoir recherché dans de nombreux textes et documents, nous n'avons pas obtenu ne serait-ce qu'un indice sur les origines. La mention de ce mécanicien était très rare, s'était faite rare après l'incident de Tatarasuna. Il est probable que ce personnage ait réellement existé et qu'il soit lié de près aux éléments qui ont eu lieu.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Ok. Mais à qui les as sont une relation se les a de la paume. Tout un bruit de pas et des démarches sûres et confiantes résonnèrent. L'autre étranger franchit la porte et posa des paniers repas avant d'acquiescer de partir. Vous n'avez pas mangé votre plat? L'homme sourit en entendant la question de Katsuragi. Il a déjà mangé. J'espère que vous trouverez le temps de vous faire de même, monsieur. Il lui a dit, vous êtes notre invité, ce n'est pas à vous de faire ce genre de choses, pour vous en gêner. C'est ce qui était parti demander de l'aide et affronter une mère. Il m'a dit... Ah. Le contenu n'est pas le même que la dernière fois. C'est à cause des informations qui étaient modifiées dans les Soul. SCARAMUCCIA a dit qu'il voulait effacer ces deux noms. S'il a vraiment réussi, c'est qu'il a dû y mettre toutes ses forces. Mais tout de même.
Well, what do you think?
Excellent.
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Ouais, pas de problème.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Parlez ce que vous savez du roi Dengoku et des éléments qui sont produits à Inazuma.
So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
Nope.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
On en a des choses à faire, alors on vous laisse.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Allons parler à Nahida. Aïe, 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 aïe. Il s'en passe des choses.
Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma.
Tu veux enquêter sur la situation de SCARAMUCCIA.
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Comme je m'y attendais.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Même Nahida ne se souvient pas. Comme la fois précédente, elle a été affectée par la modification de Soul. Je suppose que SCARAMUCCIA a agi rapidement et a fini par s'effacer avant que Nahida ne puisse l'arrêter. Et voilà. Encore une fois, je suis la seule à me souvenir des événements qui ont été effacés. Je suis à nouveau témoin.
Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
Il s'est passé quelque chose dont je suis la seule à me souvenir. Je me dois de vous dire la vérité maintenant. Avec l'histoire qui a été brisée et dispersée à travers le temps. Il y avait autrefois un individu nommé SCARAMUCCIA, qui était la création de l'Archon Électro. C'était une marionnette qui vivait parmi les hommes. Après une série d'événements survenus à Tatarazuna, SCARAMUCCIA pensa avoir été trahi 3 fois, quitta Inazuma pour errer à travers le monde. Il ne faisait pas du tout confiance aux humains et détestait les divinités. Il nourrit de la rancune pendant des années. Après être devenu plus fort, il retourna à Inazuma pour se venger. Il essaya de devenir une divinité à l'aide d'un gnosis, mais tous ses efforts furent vains. Il entra ensuite à l'intérieur de l'Irmitsu et apprit la vérité sur sa trahison. Le mensonge avait fait de lui ce qu'il était, et pour éliminer cette triste tragédie, il prit des mesures désespérées.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect her. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Ouais, mais c'est très douloureux.
I'm having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he...
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
Eh bien, je ne suis pas vraiment sûr. J'ai toujours été l'ennemi de SCARAMUCCIA. Je ne comprends donc pas ce qui l'a poussé à faire ça ou pourquoi il a été si radical. A-t-il voulu tout recommencer à zéro? Ou bien sauver quelqu'un? Ou alors a-t-il voulu complètement effacer son existence? Tout peut être corrigé. Ma solution sera claire et sans équivoque. Peut-être qu'il n'y a rien d'autre pour expliquer tout cela. C'est encore la dernière question qu'il m'a posée avant de passer à l'acte. C'est mon hésitation qui lui a donné la réponse. J'ai hésité parce que j'ai vraiment vu la Molranero que devra effacer son existence de mes propres yeux. Mais je ne peux le dire à Nahida. Sur ce terme, je ne peux pas dévoiler la raison pour laquelle SCARAMUCCIA agit si radicalement.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
Je me disais simplement qu'il avait fait tout ça en vain.
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
C'est ça.
Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that, and if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense, every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Oui, il a changé le monde de bien des façons, et malgré cela, les défunts n'ont pas eu le droit à une seconde chance. Ceux qui ont connu une fin tragique n'ont pu être sauvés. Contre quoi se bat-il? Sa vie pleine de trahison? On considère-t-il que son existence est une erreur?
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
Oh.
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Dans le grand surprise, les informations sont présentées à la manière d'un conte.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
Tout correspond à mon récit.
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different. not just the Balladeer's story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
C'est la première fois que je trouve que la vie ne pèse pas plus qu'une plume.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a walk to clear her head?
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack for one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
There's a few things I'd like to look into. You should go take a walk and try to unwind.
Harinama. Renard, chat, oiseau et monstre. Résolvez l'énigme cachée de Nahida et découvrez le passé de SCARAMUCCIA. Intéressant, intéressant. Allons au grand bazar. Mais donc on a des infos, on a les informations sur la vie de SCARAMUCCIA. Est-ce qu'on peut les intégrer dans l'Irminsul nouveau? Ouais, donc il a effacé son identité de... Il s'est effacé de l'histoire, mais tout ce qui lui est arrivé est resté intact. Et a juste été réécrit légèrement, en fait. On est arrivé. Je me demandais où est-ce qu'il fallait aller. Ah, c'est bon. J'ai l'impression qu'il y a encore quelque chose qui ne va pas. C'est comme si j'avais oublié quelque chose d'important, moi aussi. Pardon, j'étais perdu dans mes pensées. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Cet élément important qui m'échappe soudainement. Quelque chose en rapport avec l'Irminso et le fait de s'en effacer. La Molrani Rukadavata, le savoir interdit, Nahida. Ça y est, je me souviens. Elle a dit ça. La Molrani Rukadavata dit qu'aucun individu ne peut effacer sa propre existence lui-même. Ah oui, c'est vrai! Sinon, ne serait-il pas insensé que pour la Molrani Rukadavata de créer sa propre réincarnation, la Rani Kusanali, compter sur elle pour se supprimer de l'Irminsul? Non, je ne peux pas lui dire. Il y a une autre qui s'est passée avec la Molrani Rukadavata. C'est un élément crucial. Il est impossible que pour SCARAMUCCIA d'effacer complètement son existence. Alors si ce n'est pas le cas, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something?
C'est SCARAMUCCIA?
He's who?
Quoi?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now?
Suivons-le.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Ah, voilà ma marche. C'est où? Salut. Ah, oh, ok, non, donc ce n'est pas une infiltration. Ok, c'est pas un mode, c'est pas un mode où il faut le suivre discrètement, il faut juste aller là où il va, quoi.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
Je ne l'avais pas vu de mes propres yeux, je ne l'aurais pas cru.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
C'est vrai, je vous ai suivi.
Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Oui.
I have no recollection.
C'est compliqué, mais je vous connais.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
Je peux le prouver. Vous êtes une marionnette, n'est-ce pas?
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
Je voudrais vous amener quelque part.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
D'accord.
Then let's return to the city.
Retournons à l'étal de fruits. Ok, c'est très intéressant ça pour le coup. Donc, finalement, il est revenu. Ah, d'ailleurs, c'est quoi ce passage? Ah, on se voit au grand bazar aussi. Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il y a 3 portes. On n'est jamais passé par là. Oui, l'étal de fruits.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Ah. Retournons chez Nahida. Ah. Il va, il se passe des choses.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
Il s'est passé beaucoup de choses. Oui, en effet. Claire Hanikosani, votre rencontre avec le nomade au Grand Bazar.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation.
Essayez juste de trouver la meilleure façon de vous en parler.
If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
Nahida raconte aux nomades son passé.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
On était ennemis.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything. What a weird situation.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
D'accord.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
Entrer dans le souvenir. Nahida, que dis-tu?
It's time to get ready.
Pas grand-chose.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
Allez. Ah. Ok. Ok, c'est le donjon. Très bien. Bon, ce sera un épisode de 3 heures.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
Maintenant, on est là pour finir notre travail.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
Ah, Mikoshi Nagash. Donc Torachio, c'était une Oni, hein. Ok. Fils adoptif, ok.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Ah, on peut descendre. Donc le pavillon Shakei. Attendez. Ça c'est la cour violette. Mais c'est ça, non? Mais oui, le pavillon Shakei, il est là. Ah. Ok, non, on peut pas passer autre part. Ou un coffre. Ah, et on obtient un saut d'Endro. Ah. Évidemment, mais c'était prévisible. Mais quand même, ça fait un peu bizarre.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Non, passe pas là. Ah, ça fait descendre l'échelle. Quand on voudrait remonter. Très bien. Mais... Bon, en fait, il n'y a pas de bon timing. Bref. Genre le piège qui est juste allumé ou éteint. Donc si on voulait le coffre, on ne pouvait pas vraiment l'éviter en fait. Mais... Okay.
Huh? What are we doing back here?
Il y a du bruit.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
Ah. Non, le trou a disparu. Le trou dans le sol. Ok, il y a des pièges. Pas de coffre en vue. Hop là.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Hey!
No more words. Another problem. That's
Oops. Pas miss.
That seemed to work.
Everyone hold hands!
End this quickly! Who's this first? What an annoyance!
Stop fighting!
Bon.
That seemed to work. I guess this is it. The loneliness. Come at
I see everything!
Put your back into it! Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun! Time to fulfill my duty!
Ouais, ben. Tu penses vraiment pouvoir fulfill ton duty En tout cas, c'est la première fois qu'on a la voix de Pietro, hein. Dans le jeu. Mais où est-ce que t'as tiré, Amber? Bon. Hop, on va soigner ces gens. C'était un peu embêtant. Un petit steak. Non, il n'y a pas de coffre. Hein. Ah, peut-être par là. Ah ah! Là, on a plein de moelle cristalline.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
À l'archive originelle, on rencontre Scaramuccia à cet endroit. Mais je sais qu'il y a eu un événement, un gros événement à un moment, où Scaramuccia a rencontré la voyageuse. Mais c'était avant que je joue au jeu, donc... donc voilà. donc je ne connais pas très bien cet événement. Mais je sais qu'il existe. Qu'il a existé.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar.
Je m'en souviens, c'est un endroit désagréable.
Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
Ouais, on s'en souvient du welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
The more, the merrier. Over here. Windblade. Let it rain. Let's change tactics.
Oula!
Just
Can't run from death.
Allez, bah, le prochain souvenir. Là, on se souvient, on était venu de je ne sais où et le vagabond était là.
looks like we have arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, SCARAMUCCIA. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
Le Dottore, il est à l'origine de tout ceci.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Continuons d'explorer. Ah, Ok, non, on peut pas ouvrir la porte. La porte ne s'ouvre pas!
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Vous voulez dire que...
Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you, and I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self.
Donc ça que signifiaient les paroles de la Malrani Rukodevata. On ne peut pas s'effacer soi-même. Même si le SCARAMUCCIA original a été supprimé, cet individu continue d'exister à sa place. Péchés d'une personne sont-ils une partie inéluctable de son destin?
I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here?
It's...
You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasu will be thrilled.
This is... my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
you got any more stupid questions?
Far enough.
Insignificant past!
Too slow.
Squall and fury.
Allez.
Feeble human.
The wind rises.
At my command, Squall
You
and fury.
shall fall!
Bon, j'étais certain qu'il allait faire cette attaque, ce saligo.
Insignificant past!
J'étais même à deux doigts de dire que c'est justement juste à cause de ça pour qu'il puisse l'éviter. Bon, on se souvient qu'on avait déjà fait jouer avec le nomade. Beaucoup plus tôt là, pour l'événement avec dans la cité oubliée.
Wretched vermin. Feeble human. Squall and fury.
Ah, il nous a quand même touché. Mais rip.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
Ah. Vos souvenirs désormais revenus, votre passé va vous rattraper.
You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Quitter le souvenir. Y a pas un big chest qui nous attend quelque part? Non. On va pas atteindre la porte non plus.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
Vous avez abandonné le nom de SCARAMUCCIA?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
Faut aussi voir ça comme une sorte de fuite.
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
Ce n'est pas ce que Nahida pense de vous.
Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered. Including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well.
Essayez de chercher ces réponses pour moi.
I will try.
Traveler.
Oui.
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Je voulais savoir ce que vous aviez changé.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
Je n'ai pas fait ça pour obtenir quoi que ce soit en retour. Je dis pas ça comme si je vous faisais chanter.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
J'espère que vous pourrez travailler avec Nahida.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you too!
Surnom super moche.
Why?
Pourquoi donc?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
Non. J'ai pas de nom. C'est terrible. Quoi? C'est nous qui devons lui donner un nom?
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Paimon, non.
Have you got anything?
Règle d'explication pour l'attribution de nom. Règle pour l'attribution de nom. La quête d'Archon intermède, genèse inversée et l'objet plume d'appellation vous permettront de renommer le personnage nomade, notamment à l'égaré à Nemo. Et prendre note que certains noms ne peuvent pas être utilisés lors de cette attribution de nom. Oh non. Une fois que vous avez renommé ce personnage, c'est un menu du jeu affiche le nom que vous avez choisi. Nombre de fois, vous pouvez renommer ce personnage limité, alors faites-le avec précaution. Veuillez vous assurer que vous respectez les termes de notre accord d'utilisateur lorsque vous attribuez un nom, et ce afin de garantir un environnement de jeu sain pour tous. Pour confirmer et ne prendre part à aucune des conduites suivantes. De création de contenu discriminant envers envers la race, le sexe, la religion, l'orientation sexuelle, l'ethnicité, le gouvernement ou la région. Toute conduite insultante visant à harceler d'autres joueurs. Toute autre conduite violant les termes de notre accord utilisateur. Le non-respect de ces conditions peut entraîner un usage limité des services du jeu proposé. Ceci peut notamment inclure la suspension, la réinitialisation du nom, ou encore la déconnexion forcée, la suspension de la connexion au jeu ou du compte, etc. De la même manière, merci de nous prévenir via le bouton de signalement si vous êtes témoin de l'une des conduites précédemment décrites. Non, je veux pas le nommer, putain. Il le faut. J'ai aucune idée. On pourrait l'appeler Kunikuzushi, mais... Ouais, non, ça on connaît. Mais je crois qu'on peut l'appeler Kunikuzushi. Hein. On pourrait le renommer, hein, cela dit. Hein. Aïe, 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 aïe. Ok. Putain, quel nom on va lui donner? Putain, on peut l'appeler Kunikuzushi, mais non. Je suis pas inspiré. D'un côté, on pourrait lui donner un quelconque nom inazumien. On pourrait l'appeler Jean-Eudes, ou quelque chose du genre aussi, mais non. Non, il faudrait quelque chose de sérieux. Putain, il n'y a pas de nom satisfaisant qui vient. C'est terrible. C'est terrible. C'est terrible. C'est terrible. Ah, les noms, c'est mon grand point faible, les noms. Sinon, on appelle perso numéro 50. Un truc du genre. Mais non, ça passerait pas. C'est pas sérieux. Non. Non. Bon, chers amis. J'ai réfléchi. Et finalement, j'ai décidé de donner aux nomades ce nom-là. Donc, pour tout vous dire, j'ai réfléchi un petit bout de temps, mais bon, on va pas réfléchir pendant des heures. Et puis, je me suis dit, on va faire un peu comme dans les mangas. comme pour le mangaka, pour nommer leurs persos. Et on va faire un peu des jeux de mots pour nommer les persos. Voilà. Donc, j'ai pris le mot marionnette. J'ai regardé ce que j'ai utilisé Google pour savoir comment ça se disait en japonais. Et voilà, et c'était ça le résultat. Bon, je vous avoue que disait le nom marionnette, bon, on sait une marionnette, donc voilà. Donc j'avoue que ce nom me satisfait pas énormément, mais tout le reste est pire. Toutes les autres idées que j'ai eues sont pires, ou sans intérêt, ou quelque chose du genre. Donc, je lui mets ce nom-là pour l'instant, donc Kugutsu. Voilà, non, en plus c'est inazumien et tout, c'est japonais, c'est parfait. Sauf que j'aurais préféré un meilleur jeu de mots. Et ce nom... Voilà, ce nom, voilà, donc disons... C'est pas ultra bien, mais j'ai pas mieux. J'ai pas mieux. Donc si jamais pendant les prochains mois, quelqu'un a une meilleure idée qui me plaît, bon évidemment, si quelqu'un a une idée, n'hésitez pas à me la soumettre et je déciderai si elle me plaît, on pourra toujours le renommer. Lui donner un meilleur nom. Donc si jamais les gens ont des idées qui pourraient me plaire et me séduire, n'hésitez pas, je regarderai, et si jamais c'est bon, ben voilà, on verra. Donc déjà, donnons-lui ce nom-là, et on verra pour la suite. Comme ça, on peut terminer cet épisode.
Are you sure?
Oui. Pour ce soir, on va dire qu'on est sûr. J'aime bien ce nom.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Ah.
Still thinking. Stop rushing me.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
Que comptez-vous faire maintenant?
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
C'est entendu.
No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
En tout cas, tout est fini maintenant.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Paimon qui meurt de faim. depuis le début de cet épisode. On dirait que ça fait 2 jours qu'elle a rien mangé.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Oh, c'est beau ce qu'il dit. Ah, c'est pas fini. Retournez à la zone de repos.
Akaba, thanks for inviting me to research together.
Of course, Sawada. Your creativity has been indispensable to me. Without you, I'd have scratched my head bald by now.
C'est la zone de repos. Ok. Oui. Ah, cet arbre. Ah. La maison qui nous a été prêtée dans l'acte 2 de la quête d'Archon, elle est là. Ah bah.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back.
Profite-en pour bien te reposer, Paimon.
Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase.
Oui.
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
La nuit où l'on a séjourné ici, Paimon a heurté la table quand elle a appris ce qui s'était passé avec SCARAMUCCIA. C'est comme ça que le vase a été cassé. Le SCARAMUCCIA a effacé son existence. Le monde a dû changer, non? Pourquoi ce vase est-il toujours cassé?
You sound lost and confused.
Qui est-ce?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground, whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
history does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff?
Croire ce que mes yeux voient. Elle voulait que je m'accroche à mes souvenirs.
Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment, Paimon will be right back.
Qu'est-ce que l'avenir me réserve? Ah. Ça, c'est une question qu'on est tous... dont on est tous impatients de connaître la réponse. Et cette réponse sera dans l'épisode 2000. Peut-être. Non, je pense... Honnêtement... Honnêtement, je pense que l'épisode 2000 sera passé quand on aura cette réponse. Attends, mais acte 3. Oh. Ah. Le vase. Mais qui était cette personne? C'est le destin du monde qui nous a parlé. Terminé Genèse inversée. Hop. Moi-même, mais pas moi. Ok, le Seigneur éternel de la sagesse arcanique dans les souvenirs. Qui était cette personne? Qui était ça? Ah oui, d'ailleurs, c'était l'anniversaire de Tignari. Le 29 décembre 2022. On va récupérer ça. Merci Tignari pour tout ton soutien. Mais quand même... Spécialiste. Hop. On a eu la recommandation des bruits d'alliés et la boule Mora de la Grande Dame. Il reste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 anniversaires. Non mais, juste pour... Ils ont anniversaire quand ces sacs? Ah, en mars. Ensuite... Ou madame. Vous avez anniversaire quand? En avril. Pas le nomade. Kugutsu. Le 3 janvier. Attendez. Ouais, le 3 janvier. Dans quelques jours. Anniversaire le 23... Ouais, 23-6. Bon. Bon. Qui était cette personnage mystérieux? Qui nous a parlé? Est-ce que c'était l'ordre divin? Est-ce que c'était Est-ce que c'était la déesse qui nous a qu'on a combattu dans le premier épisode avant le début de cette aventure avec le frère de Léa? Est-ce que c'est les deux en même temps? Ou est-ce qu'il y a encore d'autres entités au-dessus des dieux qui nous observent? Nul ne le sait. Y a-t-il un observateur quelque part qui observe... Bon, à part nous qui observe cette aventure. Et qui s'est dit, bon... Juste pour le lol, on va leur dire quelques... On va leur révéler quelques trucs. Pour le plaisir. Aïe, aïe, aïe. Bref. On le saura peut-être un jour. En tout cas, en attendant, chers amis, n'hésitez pas à laisser un pouce bleu, à vous abonner, à commenter cet épisode. Et on se retrouvera donc bientôt pour la suite. Ciao et à bientôt dans le prochain épisode. Et n'hésitez pas à donner des idées pour le nom. Ah oui, d'ailleurs. Plume d'appellation. Vous donnez un nouveau nom à une certaine personne. Je vois le nouveau nom décidé, il ne peut plus être changé. On peut l'utiliser tout de suite pour rien. Mais non. Hop. Ciao, chers amis. Et à bientôt pour la suite. Bye bye.